New recruit Becky Goulding is still recovering from a case that's a truly shocking example of cruelty.
I was on duty one Tuesday afternoon, I think it was, just starting a late shift, and my first job of the day was to go and collect a dog that had been taken to a vet's in Huddersfield. I'd not been long out of training school, and Susie was the first animal that made me cry. I've never seen anything like it. She was in such a mess.
Susie was found abandoned and limping onto a petrol station forecourt. Luckily, dog breeder Claire Morehouse just happened to have stopped there at that very moment.
The day I came across Susie, it was very early in the morning. I'd gone to pick up my friend. We called at the garage for me to get some cash, and that's when Susie walked onto the forecourt. It is the most horrific thing I have ever seen.
This is Susie on the forecourt. She's obviously looking for help, she's looking for people. And here we have her finding the help she needed.
I did feel like she made a beeline towards me, which is when I realised that she looked like she was wearing trousers, which was odd. The closer that she came to me, then I actually saw that her front leg was clearly broken and dangling, and that the trousers were actually socks that were tied right up around the top of the other three legs.
They'd been tied round three of her legs so tightly that they cut her down to the bone.
And as bad as she looked, it was the smell. The smell was just, I'll actually never forget the smell. It was just dead flesh. You know, she'd been like that for a long time. So, ran to my van, grabbed a lead and tried to catch her. But when I went towards her with the lead, she did back off and change directions a couple of times. Luckily, another chap managed to block her off so that I could slip the lead over her neck.
It's nice to see that somebody's cared enough to stop and pick her up. Not only have they picked her up, they've taken her to a place of safety.
So I got to the vets. We sent a nurse out with a blanket, wrapped her in the blanket, took her in. I thought we were going to put her straight to sleep. And when I got back, I just cried. There were no way that she was going to survive. I can't imagine who would do that. She was just such a lovely little thing.
The job just came through that the dog had a broken leg, and at that point, that's all I knew. Went straight to the vets and saw the saddest little dog I've ever seen. She was in that much pain, they'd had to semi-sedate her to be able to cut the socks off her. She was really emaciated. You could see her ribs, her spine, her hips, everything was visible. She'd definitely been through the ringer.
As well as the horrific injuries to Susie's legs, she was suffering from both ringworm and mange too.
From the vets, I took her straight over to our hospital in Manchester, where she received emergency treatment. And one of the first things to get under control was her skin. Because she's so contagious, she's quarantined in the isolation block at the animal home.
"5 weeks later, and Susie is disease-free and has grown physically stronger. So today, vet Chris Zurovich will decide how to treat her going forward.
The last time I saw her, she was very, very timid. She was in a pretty bad state, very skinny. I'd say emaciated, and on top of everything else, one of the legs was fractured. She can't properly weight bear on it, and I think it's causing her pain. The plan today would be trying to assess how one of the legs was fractured. She can't properly weight bear on it, and I think it's causing her pain. The plan today would be trying to assess how much pain is she in and how we can help her. Susie! Hiya! Look at you. Come on. You look good. She's still a bit timid here. Hi. Last time I see her, you could see her pelvis, you could see her spine, you could see her ribs. But now she looks really good. She looks healthy. She had wounds here around here because of the socks. You can barely see that something was going on there.
Susie was found with a catalogue of conditions, but the worst was her fractured leg that had been left untreated for some time.
Right, so this is the leg that we see the swelling. The angle's really off, isn't it? The fractured leg's definitely quite painful. Every time she puts the weight down, this happens, this movement here. The ligaments, because there's so much stress on them, they stretch, so the deformation might get worse and worse with time. So I think for those two reasons, pain and that deformity, that's going to most likely get worse. We do have to amputate this one, yeah.
The poor dog has been through a great deal already, but for her future comfort, she must now face major surgery to remove the leg.
General anaesthetic induction could be long up.
And despite Susie being in better shape than a few weeks ago, the operation could still prove too much.
A full general anaesthetic, that's quite a risk. If the heart can stop, blood pressure can go down too much. There's so many things you have to think about. And obviously, if you're doing quite a lengthy one, it's just making things more risky, isn't it?
In Greater Manchester, Vet Chris is performing an amputation on abandoned Susie's fractured leg, damaged beyond repair after being left untreated for some time.
Our incision's going to be around halfway, so just go like this. Yeah. Just to get the scar off.
This operation is not for the faint-hearted, so you may want to look away now.
So what we're going to do is try and establish now where's our incision's going to be. So what we're trying to do now is get to the most important vessel in the area. Right, okay, so we've got the vessels. There's a vein, there's an artery, there's a couple of nerves. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ligate them.
Once the vein ends have been tied, the operation can move on to the next stage.
And we just went through the muscles and we can already see the bone here. Checking her pulse? Still got pulse?
Yeah, this is fine.
With Susie stable, the leg can be removed.
That is an oscillating saw. What it does with a certain frequency, it just trembles like that. And those teeth are what's going to cut the bone off. Right, so I'll be showing you where to cut, okay? Where you're going is right here. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Do you want to unclamp that in a minute? Okay, that's it. Looks like a butcher now.
Oh, that's a bit close to the bone, Chris.
We're going to be closing now. We're done. Surgery's done. Looks good.
Despite such a drastic operation, Susie's recovery should be swift.
As long as she's not painful, she probably will start lifting herself even today.
And an hour later, Susie is already up and started to try out life on 3 legs. The future is looking a lot brighter and, importantly, pain-free. "7 months ago, a bedraggled and in pain Susie hobbled into the arms of a good Samaritan. Taken into Inspector Becky Goulding's care, she began to recover, but her severely damaged leg had to be removed.
We do have to amputate this one.
Today, Susie has bounced back and found a new friend in Nellie. And a new life with Jen, Andrew, and daughters Charlie, Isla, and Cheska.
We knew we wanted another dog, and she just seemed perfect for us. We went to meet Susie with our children and our black Labrador, Nellie.
We first saw her in the RMSPCA, and I thought about her. She was beautiful. I like Susie because she runs fast. Sometimes she's a bit silly.
When we got Susie, we obviously knew that she'd got the amputation. So we knew we'd be taking on a three-legged dog. But to be honest, it's not held her back at all.
Well, she's faster than most dogs, to be fair. And we get a couple of dogs in the local park where we have four-legged dogs who are being outrun by a three-legged dog. It amuses quite a few people. She'll run around at such a pace that if she loses traction with her front left paw, she'll drop down, skiddle her shoulder or stump, and then carry on going even faster. But like a rocket around the garden.
She likes to have her mad moments, so she'll have 10, 15 minutes of just tearing around the garden, but then for the rest of the day, she pretty much likes to chill out and relax.
If you look at Susie, it does look like she's actually getting a smile on her face quite often as well.
I'm amazed that for a dog that's been through as much as she's been through, she's as happy and relaxed as she is.
Since Susie was taken into RSPCA care, she's been very much on Becky's mind.
Susie was the worst dog I'd seen when I picked her up. She wouldn't raise her head, she was nervous, and I just remember seeing those big eyes looking up at me.
As Susie holds a special place in Becky's heart, she's keen to see how she's progressing.
She was such a loving and affectionate dog. We're looking forward to seeing how she's changed now she's back in a family environment. Hello! Can I come and see your doggy? Hi, baby! Hello! Hello, Susie. How's she doing? Good. How long have you had her now?
4 months.
Is it 4 months really already?
Yeah.
Can't believe how well she looks. But she looks even better than when she left us.
She's settled in so quickly.
Yeah.
Does Susie remember you?
I hope she remembers me.
You still like a tummy rub, don't you, Suze?
Oh, nice.
Susie's made herself well and truly at home and is keeping her new family on their toes too.
She's certainly very happy here. She's got enough land to run around with, and
Yeah.
she's got a few playmates.
Does she dig your garden up as well?
She does. The great thing is you can tell who's been doing it because there are 3 paw prints rather than 4 paw prints left as proof.
So how does it feel seeing her again?
It's really nice to see her again. It makes it all worthwhile, you know. To go from, you know, the photos and videos I've got on my phone, to go from that to how she is now, you'd think she'd lived here all her life already. And she's only been... I'm just so chuffed for her, so happy for her. Susie! Honestly, guys, I cannot thank you enough.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's the happy ending Becky was hoping for and Susie deserves.
Definitely landed on all 3 paws, hasn't she?